Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody. This is where I give commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys so much for joining. Let's talk about earlier today's episode of WWE's Clash in Paris. And before I do that, I want to say happy birthday to Jeff Hardy and Mickie James. I would put this in my community post, but no one sees it, so I'm just going to just shout it out loud. But today is the day of Willow, which is one of my favorite personalities of Jeff Hardy and Mickie James, Hardcore Country. Fun fact. Now let's get down to business and talk about Clash in Paris, where we had Roman Reigns facing off against Bronson Reed with the shoe fetish. Yes, legend has it that Bronson Reed has a shoe fetish. LOL. In any event, it was a pretty interesting match. Roman Reigns eventually won, and I thought he was going to give the dummy penguin, because I don't swear on this channel, but dummy penguin Paul Heyman was about to get his, and he was in the middle of getting his. Actually, he did get his comeuppance when he got choked out by the OTC Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns was signing off his shoes to somebody who hopefully does, well, I don't care if they have shoe fetish, but I'm just being funny. However, Roman Reigns signed his shoes off and gave it to some fans before being speared through the table by Bronson Reed as the fans sung "Who Let the Dogs Out," which I thought was kind of funny. And the one thing that came out of the ambush, kayfabe-wise, is Wade Barrett shouting "Tsunami," because, by the way, Wade Barrett sells Bronson shoe fetish Reed's tsunami move so well. The way he calls it, it is awesome. I still don't like Bronson Reed kayfabe wise. They destroyed Roman Reigns to the point where Jey Uso had to come and interfere, and so they attacked Jey Uso, which did not help him in the main event. We saw Becky Lynch facing off against Nikki Bella, and for ironically, the fans, I guess because it's Europe and Becky Lynch is European, being from Dublin, Ireland, although they were in Paris, France, Nikki Bella had an accident where she was going for an avalanche kick but missed Becky Lynch, which I thought that was a wrestling blooper right there. Outside of that, Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella was a great match. I don't want to say great, but it was a pretty good match to me. And of course, with a roll-up, Becky Lynch wins and retains her IC title. We saw the Street Profits go up against the Wyatt Six. 2/6 of them, at least, pardon the pun. And the Wyatt family was very successful. And there seems to be something going on with Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins of the Street Profits, and I hope all is well with them, kayfabe speaking. But who knows? I think the Street Profits are the only team left that has not turned on each other, because nothing lasts. No good relationship lasts in WWE. No relationships last in WWE. All relationships are made to be broken. So, we have that. We also have John Cena versus Logan Paul. And I'm going to tell you, that was a good match. I have to watch that again. Before I get to John Cena and Logan Paul, let me just talk about that Donnybrook match between Sheamus and Rusev. I never thought I'd see Sheamus tap out, but I really thought that was a good match. And that match between Sheamus and Rusev, John Cena and Logan Paul are two matches I would have to watch again, because number one, they were great matches. Number two, I might need to learn, because I would like to visit Paris one day. I would like to learn how to count to 10 in French, because as they went for the 10 beats of the Balor and other moments with apron punches, fans would count to 10. and they would do it in their own native language. So I think I might have to watch those two matches again just so I can learn how to count to 10 in French. That would be kind of fun to do. Nonetheless, the Donnybrook match between Rusev and Sheamus was great. I never thought I'd see Sheamus tap out. I was actually rooting for Sheamus to win. But Rusev won a great match. And if I were to ever do a short on Rusev's birthday and ask you to pick out your top favorite Rusev match, I would probably put that match on because it was really great to me. As well as Logan Paul versus John Cena. That match I really enjoyed. That is also a match I could go and watch again. But I am very glad that John Cena won this match. Now, I saw that Brock Lesnar had taken a picture with a fan in Paris, apparently. I could be wrong, but I think they said the picture was in Paris. You see how I had to cover my mouth, unlike Wade Barrett, who coughed so loud we heard him. I thought somebody had made a sound in my house during Rusev's entrance. That was Wade Barrett coughing. But in any event, moving forward, excuse me, something on me. The match between those two was great. Brock Lesnar, I thought, was going to show up tonight and ambush Cena because they got their own thing going on. Thankfully, that did not happen. And John Cena was able to bask in his victory. I'm glad that John Cena won also, and it was good. That's something I probably would go watch again. Now, let's talk about this main event. This main event was filled with a lot of twists. First and foremost, shout out to Jey Uso for fighting with injured ribs. He's been dealing with injured ribs for a long time. And if we don't take precaution, he might miss WrestleMania next year. Much like Naomi will miss WrestleMania next year because she is with child with Jey Uso's nephew. Moving forward in any event, we had the Fatal 4-Way match. I noticed how LA Knight and pushed CM Punk into the table, which was payback for what was actually an accident. Paul Heyman, the dummy penguin, mixing up what CM Punk and Roman Reigns called him, he was sent to the hospital. We had a pretty good Fatal 4-Way match, and Seth Rollins was about to try and kill Punk, stomping him through a chair. Thankfully, CM Punk escaped, and we were about to see him go for two, go to sleeps. The only problem is someone gave him an uppercut and the Pepsi can, to keep this clean language. Who was it? None other than Becky Lynch. And like many of you, the first thought that, I promise you, I'm not lying to you guys. I don't believe in saying lies to build myself up. That's something I try never to do. When I say something, I always try to be honest about it. I don't believe in making up lies just to get my own platform or make myself grow. That's never a good thing to do. I have morals here. But I promise you, as this was happening, the first thought that came to my mind as CM Punk was laying there and Seth Rollins picked the bones for the victory thanks to Becky Lynch, the first thought that came to my mind, as God is my witness, AJ Lee. That was the first thought that came to my mind. And when after I watched what happened and I went to YouTube, I saw that there were a lot of community posts making reference to AJ Lee as well. AJ Lee, for those of you who may not know, is the wife, the real life wife of CM Punk. By the way, Logan Paul is taking inspiration because Logan Paul used AJ Lee's submission hold on John Cena, which did not work earlier tonight. So, I don't know. There's a saying, never say never, but at the same time, I'm not really big on getting my hopes up for nothing. But I will say this, it would be nice if we could get AJ Lee back in WWE to stand by CM Punk to go up against the other power couple, that is Becky Lynch, who is the Intercontinental Women's Champion, and Seth Rollins, the Men's World Heavyweight Champion. So let me know in the comments section below, what do you think about earlier today's Clash in Paris WWE? I love how the fans made the France logo at the end of the show. But at the end of the day, I'm your host, Sam Cody. Let me know what you thought about today's episode of WWE Clash in Paris. I'm your host, Dan Cody. See you next time. By the way, I want to say something fun real quick. Because we watch Raw on Netflix every Monday, there's another movie on Netflix that I would like to recommend to you guys. It's not wrestling related, but there is a movie that I think should have starred The Undertaker. The Old Guard 1 and The Old Guard 2 on Netflix is a movie that should have had The Undertaker. And if you've seen The Old Guard, you'll know why I said The Undertaker should have been in that movie. Watching, you'll get it. Until next time, have a great week, everyone. See you next time.